Only by Starlight. Chapter 1. Departure.
Be happy, Zuzu. Weren't you just saying yesterday how you wished that father would give you more responsibility? The feeling has gone out of Zuko's fingertips, and the scroll drops from his hands. When will he learn? He's known Azula for 14 years. He should know by now that her promises of good news can never be trusted. That she will never agree to play the messenger unless the news she carries will tear him apart. He can't decide whether the relative privacy of her room is a relief or merely another layer of torture. This is even better than what you asked for, Azula continues. A meeting or two is nothing. I've been going to war meetings for nearly 3 years, and father has never done anything like this for me. This is real. Do you realize how much power this is, Zuzu? This doesn't feel like power. It doesn't feel like an opportunity or a fresh expansion of his authority. He isn't sure what it feels like. All he knows is that his stomach is turning, and he might be sick. She leans in closer, forcing him to hold her gaze. Her eyes are sharp and steely, and he can feel them trying to bore into his mind, to control what's inside his head. Father just entrusted you with an entire region of the Fire Nation. Do you have any idea how much that's worth? Even you can't be stupid enough to throw this chance away. Zuko's tongue hangs heavy in his mouth. He knows what she wants him to say. There is only one safe answer, so why is it so difficult to shape the words? Why do they stick at the back of his throat, trying their best to choke him? Of course not. This is what he's been hoping for. Azula is right. Father is handing him a new level of trust and authority, a new assignment designed to ready him for the throne. The fact that he'll be taken away from the capital, away from father and the palace, away from uncle, doesn't matter. He's nearly a grown man. He needs to follow his responsibilities wherever they may take him, no matter who they may take him away from. He wishes he could believe that. He wishes that it felt less like lying to himself, that he could nod along with Azula without icy fingers of doubt creeping up the back of his neck. She looks pleased with herself, and she reclines back on her hands. Good. After all that time chasing shadows, it's about time that you got a little practice handling unrest in the Fire Nation. It's essential that the future Fire Lord have experience with his own people, don't you think? An unpleasant jolt shoots through the base of his skull, but Zuko nods. Despite his doubts, Azula has him cornered. She's echoing Father's orders, nothing more and nothing less. Father always has his reasons, and Father doesn't lie. Though the throne still seems like a distant fantasy, that must be what Father is preparing him for. There is good reason for all of this if Zuko can only see it. Isn't there? And maybe it'll be good for you too. Jumping out of your skin every time someone mentions the Avatar can't be good for your health. Zuko stiffens, and the briefest smirk flashes across Azula's face. There you go again. Really, you ought to keep better control over yourself, Zuzu. We wouldn't want Father to start suspecting anything, would we? His hands clench into fists, and it takes all his restraint to hold his expression steady. Was this your idea? Don't be an idiot. It's much more convenient for me when you're nearby. Azula examines her meticulously manicured, claw-like nails, and then makes a great show of pouring herself another cup of tea before she spares him a glance. But if you're worried that news about the Avatar might surface while you're away... Yes, of course he is. He hasn't forgotten that waterbending girl with her little blue vial and her promises of healing. He hasn't forgotten the way those vibrant blue eyes lit up for the Avatar. He doesn't know why he cares about that last bit, about her eagerness to leave Zuko behind, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is that the girl is with the Avatar. So long as she stays at his side, there is always a chance that the Avatar could survive. A chance that Zuko will be blamed for it. Then perhaps I could make some arrangements. I suppose I deserve a bit of the blame. The threat is evident in her tone. I made this mess, but I don't have to clean it up for you. Make one wrong move and I can bring the nation's wrath down on your head in a heartbeat. She can do it. Zuko knows that. His word means nothing next to Azula's, and it never has. What kind of arrangements? His voice comes out as a croak. There's no need for you to worry about that. Just remember that you owe me a favor. She smiles, her eyes cold and calculating over sharp, glistening teeth. What else is new? It's probably stupid to risk provoking her, but he doesn't have the energy to care. According to Father's message, he'll be leaving the capital in 2 days' time. Even Azula can't cause him much harm before then. He'll be leaving. Unease grips his stomach again, and he can't hold back the question that rises to his lips. Where is he sending me? Finally, something relevant. Azula's smile broadens until she looks more wolf shark than human. That's it, Zuzu. Keep practicing and you might turn out competent after all. Zuko's pulse quickens and he leans forward. If Azula is enjoying this so much, then it has to be bad. Where? He demands, voice ragged. Shisoku, she answers with a smirk. A speck of a village on the furthest eastern reaches of the archipelago. So remote, so far removed from the capital that it hardly belongs to the nation at all. Bile rises in the back of Zuko's throat. He feels like he's 13 years old again, alone and afraid. He may as well be. Though he is older now, the loneliness is harder, heavier. He's being sent away again, and this time he will truly be alone. This time he won't have Uncle. He tries to force the bile back down. This isn't the same. It isn't a new banishment. He isn't even leaving the Fire Nation this time. It just feels like last time. It feels like being discarded for the sake of an impossible quest. It feels like Father doesn't want him to come back. Smile, Zuzu. Azula stands and dusts herself off. I told you that this was a great opportunity for you. He thinks he imagines the emphasis on the last 2 words, but Azula's expression makes it clear that it is no mistake. This is a great opportunity for him. For anyone else, it would be an insult, but Zuko can expect nothing better than this. Being shuffled off to look after the farthest reaches of the Fire Nation is all he'll ever be good for. Zuko wishes he could find the strength to argue. You're sure you're okay with this? Sokka pauses in the middle of his packing. Like, really, really sure. Katara crosses her arms. She isn't sure how happy she is about it. She doesn't savor the prospect of being left alone in the middle of nowhere in enemy territory, but she doesn't really have a choice in the matter. Someone has to stay here to wait for word from Dad and the rest of the invasion force. And with Toph taking Aang off into the mountains for a few weeks of advanced earthbending lessons, and Sokka venturing back to Shujing to resume his studies with Master Piandao, that leaves Katara. Though if Sokka is just going to keep fussing at her, she might be grateful for the silence when he leaves. I've told you at least 10 times, I'll be fine. And I don't see why I should keep answering you if you're just going to ignore everything I say. Yeah, but being fine and being fine with it are 2 different things. Which one are you talking about? She glowers, but Toph saves her the trouble of answering. Drop it, Sokka. Sugar Queen says she's fine, so she's fine. Her sightless eyes drift somewhere over Katara's head. Besides, she'd just be a distraction if she came with me and Aang. We're done with the coddling for good. When this is over, I'm either going to bring back a Master Earthbender or a bag of bones. Aang looks alarmed, and Toph shoots a pebble at him. Think fast, Twinkle Toes. This is going to be a disaster. Katara can already tell that much. Stop teasing Aang, she orders. He's nervous enough already. Who's teasing? Toph kicks the ground with her heel and her pack launches into Aang's arms. If he doesn't master it, he's gonna get killed. Your babying isn't going to change that. Katara resents the implication that she would just coddle Aang the entire time. She's helped Aang with his earthbending before, and she could do it again. But right now, splitting up is the only option. Sokka is still giving her that same concerned face, the one that's been cropping up ever since they decided to split up. Before that, too. Since Hama, at least. You could come with me, he offers. It's not going to be much fun out here. And he cuts himself off, but not before Katara catches his meaning. And if you come with me, I can keep an eye on you. I'll make sure you don't get yourself into any more trouble like with Hama or Jiang Hui. She should probably appreciate the sentiment. After all, Sokka does care. That's the only reason why he's being this pushy. He just wants to make sure that she's safe, and out of everyone they've met in the Fire Nation, Master Piandao is easily the most trustworthy. Like it or not, she can understand why Sokka wants her to join him. But Katara doesn't want to go along with Sokka. She doesn't like the idea of having him watching over her shoulder all the time, and there are some things that they both have to face alone. For all she knows, this could be exactly the chance she needs to sort out her messy thoughts. And what would I do there, How would going to see Piandao be any more fun for me than staying out here? You could... Sokka scratches behind his ear. You could watch my lessons. Katara shakes her head. Though she's proud of Sokka for learning, she's no more interested in watching him train than he has ever been in her waterbending. I think I'll pass on that. Besides, we've already talked about this. Someone needs to stay behind to wait for Dad's message and to keep Appa and Momo out of sight. Logic. It's a simple argument, but she knows that it's exactly the kind of pragmatism that he'll fall for every time. I'll be fine, she repeats. I have plenty of supplies and I can take care of myself. She looks especially hard at Sokka. The three of you have a lot more to worry about than I do. The only thing she has to worry about is them. But that's to be expected, and she couldn't stop herself if she tried. Sokka frowns at her, but for once, he can't find an argument to counter that. He stuffs another package of jerky in alongside his clothes, and yanks the drawstrings shut. Leaning back against Appa's side, Katara tries not to worry, tries not to hover as they finish up their packing. While she stays safe and hidden out here in the forested hills on the fringes of the Fire Nation, the others will be days away, traveling uncertain roads through an unfamiliar land. They'll all be fine, she tries to tell herself. It's only about 3 days to Shujing on foot, and once Sokka gets there, he'll be under Piandao's protection. Aang and Toph will be less secure in their travels, but so long as they stick to the mountains, they should be safe. And in a few weeks' time, they'll all be back here again, together and happy, just like they were never apart. Toph, of course, is the first to finish packing and jeers at Aang to hurry up. Katara can only hope that the eagerness to get Aang all to herself is for the sake of training rather than anything else. Aang, for his part, dawdles as long as he can, shooting glances back at Katara all the while. And Sokka, of course, spouts bits of advice to no one in particular until she has to roll her eyes. She's going to miss this. She's going to miss them, mostly, but they won't be gone for long. A few weeks. A month at most. She gets a hug from Aang and Sokka, then a punch in the shoulder from Toph. Katara pulls Toph into a hug too, despite her grumbling, and although Toph resists for a second, she eventually squeezes back. Okay, that's enough. Miss you too, sweetness. Toph pulls back and punches her shoulder one more time. Let's go, Twinkle Toes. Don't you dare try anything fancy with that glider. I know, Toph. I won't try to scare you. I'm not scared! But when Toph wraps her arms around his waist, She clings so tight that Aang nearly doubles over with the force of it. When he recovers, he turns toward Katara again. "We'll see you soon, okay?" She nods, and Aang unfurls his glider and launches himself and Toph up over the tree line. Long after they're both out of sight, she can still hear Toph's frightened screeches, and Katara keeps looking up, watching the pale, cloud-speckled sky through the canopy of leaves. Sokka comes up beside her and nudges her arm. "Don't blow anything up while we're gone, got it?" She shoots a quick scowl at him. "That was one time. And Aang helped." He doesn't smile. He hardly reacts at all. Katara nudges him back. "Don't lick anything you don't recognize." "Hey, that's..." He lets out a huff, then slings his pack over his shoulder and gives her another quick hug. "Just say hi to Dad for me if he gets here before we do. And be careful." Katara nods and squeezes him back. "You too. Show them all what a Southern Water Tribe warrior can do." Sokka smiles, and with that, he's off too. Katara watches him go until he's out of the clearing, vanished between the trees that lead down to a broad, lush valley to the north. For a while after he's gone, she remains still, listening to the light breeze in the treetops, the bird song, and Appa's ceaseless chewing on bits of leaves and grass. She almost wishes that the hill was bare so she could watch Sokka find his way down to the river that will guide him back to Shujing, but she knows that they all chose this spot for a reason. The forest will keep her hidden. That will keep her safe. As she turns slowly, deliberately back toward her tent and begins to dig for something, anything to occupy herself, Momo comes up behind her, chattering. His tiny hands tug at her sleeve, and she looks back. "I know, Momo." She strokes his long, velvety ears and lets him clamber up into her arms. She's here for a reason. She knows how important it is for the others to train and for someone to wait for Dad's message. That sense of purpose should be enough to keep her going. But the clearing feels empty, and neither Appa nor Momo will be bothered if she admits the truth. She hugs the lemur tight. "I'm really going to miss them too."